The time I met Roger was quite a while ago, and it was not an auspicious beginning. It was 1980, and we were just trying to start our Sundance lab process. And we were sitting there on a lawn at Sundance. Now, at that time, Sundance 1980, there was really no buildings there. There was just a ski lift and a restaurant, and kind of that was it. So we were all sitting out on the grass, and Michelle was there. That was her first year. We brought her in. She was about 3 years old, and she came in. She was there, and we were all gathered together trying to sort out how this might work, this process, this mechanism to create opportunities for new artists to have a voice and focus on a category that was kind of DOA at that time in independent film. And so we thought maybe we could energize that category if we used our process for development. Anyway, that's how it was starting. So we were sitting out there in the lawn, and I look over and I see this guy. And I said, wait a minute, who's he? And somebody said, he's a journalist. And I said, well, hold it. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, we're just starting out here, and we are developing a process, and we have to make mistakes, we have to stumble, we have to struggle, and I don't think it's a time to have us analyze just yet. I don't think that's fair. Also, there had been a situation earlier where a top-line news organization had sent someone out, and they had taken a very cynical attitude about what they thought we were going to do, so I was a little sensitive and probably paranoid. So I said, get out. And there was a little bit of a ruffle there, and so he said, can we take a walk? Can we talk? I said, all right. So we go for a walk, and I try to explain to him that I just didn't think it was appropriate. At a certain time later, yes, that's fine, but we need time to really fumble through what we're trying to get started here. So what he did was he said, look, I'm pretty serious about this process. Now, this was when Roger was a journalist. This is before he was a critic. And he said, I'm interested in this process. I'd just like to be here and witness it. We kind of locked horns for a little bit, and then I realized that he was serious. And so I said, okay, so come on back in. So that was really what started off to be a little tricky situation there. It turned out to be the beginning of a long-term relationship that I'm immensely grateful for, and I think many, many here tonight are as well. Because what I realized was that he was really, really a good writer. He was a good journalist. He was a man who, he might have been a fan of film. He loved independent film, but it wasn't just the word independent that he liked, it was film. He was just a film guy in the broadest sense. What came with that was this phenomenal, aside from his skill and his talent, but this phenomenal generosity of spirit. And in terms of my personal career, I mean, he was very much his own guy. In other words, because we knew each other did not mean I was going to get any favors. Some of the reviews were positive and some weren't. But one thing was constant, and that was his support of Sundance through and through. He was at every single festival we ever had. And then I guess I must have felt over time that we kind of became friends because of that journey. So I was there to see how his life brightened and how it seemed to just lift up immensely when Chaz came into his life. And so obviously Chaz is a part of our evening, and I think we owe her a great deal, and I think I'm speaking for not only all of us, but Roger's memory. And I'd like to, because of his voice, because he was a generous man, and because I think he represented humanity, I'd like to read something to you in his own words in summary for this evening. Kindness covers all of my political beliefs. No need to spell them out. I believe that if, at the end, according to our abilities, we have done something to make others a little happier and something to make ourselves a little happier, that is about the best we can do. To make others less happy is a crime. To make ourselves unhappy is where all crime starts. We must try to contribute joy to the world. That is true no matter what our problems, our health, our circumstances. We must try. I didn't always know this, and I am happy I lived long enough to find it out. So with that, I would like to turn to Chaz and present her with this award, because I think we now, speaking for Roger's memory and all of us here tonight, I'd like to turn our attention to Chaz.